business grow. To learn more, visit WSFSbank.com. Member FDIC.
Hayley Hasselhoff, good morning. Hey, good morning. It's Bill and Jessica, Power 1017 in Salisbury, Maryland. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
And we're good. We're good. Thank you so much for checking in. We appreciate it. I know you got a lot of stuff going on. First off, for people who don't know, you are David Hasselhoff's daughter. Let's just start that off, okay? Just so we're clear. I'm sure. I know that has nothing to do with what you're promoting. I'm just saying. So how was it? Growing up, the daughter of a big time actor like the Hoff.
I mean, I didn't know anything different. So for me, it was you call him the Hoff, I call him my dad.
But
so,
yeah.
No, I'm just saying it's not much of a difference here in the sense of a family aspect. But it definitely encouraged me from a very young age to have my own passion for the arts and really getting into the industry at a very young age.
Yeah, well, it's funny because, when we go out and about, people are like, oh, Bill and Jessica, and our kids are like,
Yeah, our kids, they're like, yeah, that's my mom.
So, very good. Well, look, I know you've done a lot of things, in your career thus far. But today, you're talking about a brand new podcast that you're doing. It's called Redefine. Go ahead and tell us all about it.
The podcast is called Redefine You, a conversation for well-being, where we're having open and honest conversations with friends of mine in the industry about their ownership of self and their mental health journey. We're also speaking to experts and practitioners about breaking down wellness and well-being stigmas, really helping you build your personalized toolbox to get you through challenging days.
Okay.
It really started out as an Insta Live series over the past year where I was wanting to give back to just my audience and to people to recognize that we all struggle but can still succeed. And we have been in the place as artists where we deal with the fear of the unknown every day. The anxiousness is a part of our professional careers. So how can we give that back to somebody who may be dealing with the fear of the unknown for the first moment? What's in their toolbox that necessarily has got them through a challenging moment, but it still has allowed them to show up for themselves? So it's going to be a wonderful podcast with a mix of people that you know very well and with a mix of practitioners to really help you find ways to feel grounded in the power of you.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, over the past year and a half, it's been, just incredible, like all the stories you hear about mental health. I've learned myself, how important mental health is. Yeah. People who don't, take it as serious, really some eye openers over the past year. Definitely think it's a great thing, that you're doing with the podcast.
Thank you. And I think that it's when you look at it from a stats point of view, 615 million people globally deal with mental health, and 1 in 5 will deal with a mental illness in America in their lifetime. And it's about being able to say that we all deal with mental health just as much as we all deal with physical health. And if we can start to open up our conversations about our feelings and about those challenging days, then it won't get to a place of crisis. That hopefully it'll allow people to know that it's okay to have anxiety and that it's okay to not be okay all of the time. And that the people that you look up to in public figures, they're humans too. And in the reality, they can showcase through the stories that we're telling on the podcast, the times they did struggle, but they didn't publicly talk about it. But they still, they still came out and succeeded on the top. So it's wonderful to be able to showcase that we all deal with mental health, really giving an idea of inspiring you to look within, because you're hearing other people's stories of ownership of self and hearing other people relate to you with their struggles and their challenges, and that has led them to their triumph.
How did you get involved, so involved with, promoting and talking about mental health?
Well, I've been a curve model since I was 14, which kind of allowed me to speak about being a body activist for many, many years. And I think there was always a piece of me that publicly was speaking about mental health, but through body image and through self-acceptance. And then it wasn't until the past couple of years where I publicly felt confident enough in being able to go out and say that I struggle with anxiety and I struggle with social anxiety in the past. But it was this past year like I said, that I started the Insta Live series probably the first week in lockdown in Los Angeles called Redefine You, where I was curious to speak to friends of mine in the industry because we have to deal with the anxiousness of the industry. And I was wondering, what do they do? What's been in their toolbox, and how can we sort of relate on that and give that back to somebody who may be struggling for the first time?
Okay, very good. I know it said on here that you're going to have some celebrity guests possibly checking in, talking about this. Any hints?
Yeah, we've got some amazing celebrity guests. I can hint at a few. We've got Sarah Haynes from The View who's coming on, who's just gorgeous and just has such a beautiful and honest and open relationship with herself. We've got Kevin McHale who's coming on.
Okay.
Our first, we've got people like Dr. Dominic Fortelli, who is a board-certified psychiatrist and also one of the co-hosts that comes on for the doctors. So we've got a great list of people coming on to really just showcase a little bit more about what makes them them. And within what makes them them, you're going to be speaking about mental health because that's a part of our journey and a part of when you take ownership of who you are.
Very good. Hayley Hasselhoff, brand new podcast, Redefine. We're going to be able to hear it on all major platforms.
You can hear Redefine You, Conversation for Wellbeing on all podcast platforms. So whatever is your favorite podcast platform, go over there and subscribe and download.
Very good. If people want to follow you, they want to look you up, besides the podcast, how can they do that?
You can just head over to my socials, which is at Hayley Hasselhoff.
All right, very good. Hayley Hasselhoff, thank you so much for checking in. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And good luck. Good luck on the podcast.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Time for a quick recharge, and then we'll